Okay, so what if your video game hobby could actually pay your bills? I know it sounds a little bit like a fantasy, but today we're going to explore a world where that's the new reality. We're using Play to Earn, mapping the new game economy as our guide, and we're about to chart a course right into this revolutionary digital landscape. Let's dive in.
So let's just start with the one question that gets right to the heart of this whole thing. What if all those hours you spent grinding for that super rare sword or leveling up your character, what if they weren't just for bragging rights? What if your digital stuff, your achievements, had tangible, real-world value that you actually owned, something you could take with you outside of the game?
You see, that question is the key to a massive paradigm shift in gaming. In traditional games, any value you create, that epic armor, that high-level character, it's all locked away. It's trapped inside that one game's universe. The minute you stop playing, poof, it's basically gone. But Play to Earn, it completely flips the script. The value you generate is transferable, it's real, and most importantly, it's yours. To really get a handle on all this, our source material uses this brilliant metaphor. So, allow me to welcome you to the P2E city. Think of the next few minutes as a guided tour. We're going to explore the streets, the districts, and the economic currents of this bustling new digital world.
All right, our first stop on this tour takes us to the city's main districts. You can think of these as the core neighborhoods, right? The foundational pillars that make this entire P2E economy actually work. If you understand these, you're well on your way.
So we have to begin in the player district. This is the heart and soul of the whole city. The people here, they aren't just playing a game. They're basically entrepreneurs. Every quest they complete, every battle they win, it all contributes to a network of value. This right here is the engine of the entire PTE economy, and it's powered by the actions of its players.
Next up, we're headed to the token marketplace. This is the city's crazy busy financial hub. It's where digital tokens act as the main currency. You earn them by playing, you can trade them for other cool stuff, and you can even convert them into real-world money.
From there, we wander into the NFT quarters, and I just love this description. It's part art gallery, part stock exchange. This is where all the unique digital items, like your characters, plots of land, super rare weapons, are traded as assets that you can truly own. Their ownership is all guaranteed by blockchain technology, which is basically a super secure, public digital ledger that proves who owns what and confirms that it's actually scarce.
Our last stop in this part of the city is the guild hubs. In the P2E city, collaboration is kind of its own currency. Guilds are like the community centers where players team up, they pool their resources, they share strategies, and they tackle huge objectives they could never do alone, which just amplifies everyone's success.
So, we've seen the foundational districts of the P2E city. Now that we've got the lay of the land, let's see how it all connects. We're going to follow what our source calls the river of value to really understand the economic currents that bring this whole city to life.
And here's the crucial point you got to get. Value here isn't static. It doesn't just sit in one place. Nope, it flows, like a river, through the entire ecosystem. And the source of that river? Well, it's the very act of playing the game. Every single player's action contributes another drop to this powerful current.
Now, this river gets fed by a bunch of different streams, or as we're calling them here, the tributaries of earning. First, you've got the gentle stream of reward for play. Small but steady rewards just for showing up and engaging. Then you have the more challenging rapids of reward for skill, for the real masters of the game. And then there are other streams, like staking, which is kind of like earning interest by locking up your digital assets, or just amplifying the flow by working with your guild.
And this quote just nails a really important insight from our source. The value of an item isn't just about what it does in the game. It's not purely functional, it's also social. An NFT's rarity, the story behind it, and how much the community wants it. All of that is just as important in deciding what it's actually worth.
Okay, but this is the big question, right? How does this value actually get from the PTE city into our world? Well, it happens through what the source calls bridges to the real world. As you can see, tokens can be converted to cash and NFTs can be sold. But, and this is a huge but, it's absolutely crucial to be aware of the very real risks. Volatility means your token's value can swing wildly, and market fluctuations can change what your NFTs are worth, like overnight. These are real challenges you have to navigate.
All right, now that we understand the city's layout and its economy, let's climb to its highest point, the lookout tower. From up here, we can get a view of the future and survey the horizon to see where this whole play-to-earn ecosystem is heading next.
And let me tell you, the P2E city is expanding fast. The future horizon includes really cool trends like interoperability. Imagine your items being able to move between different games.
We're also seeing dynamic economies that adjust based on what players are doing. And of course, there's deeper integration with the metaverse and a growing focus on rewarding true skill and creativity.
So, how do you even navigate a world that's this complex and always changing? Well, think of this as your navigator's toolkit, filled with key strategies. The advice is pretty clear. Diversify your activities, team up with guilds, do your homework before investing time or money, and get involved in the game's governance, which means you get a direct say in its future. And always balance that risk with the potential reward.
As our tour comes to a close, let's just boil down everything we've learned. You can think of this last part as your own personal P2E Explorer's map, with all the key takeaways you'll need to guide you.
So if we zoom all the way out, this chart gives us a fantastic bird's-eye view of the whole P2E ecosystem. You can see it's built on 4 interconnected pillars. You've got the players who generate all the value, the tokens that act as the currency, the unique NFT assets that hold that value, and the guilds that make powerful collaboration possible.
And look, if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this core insight right here. Play to earn is a fundamental transformation. It turns players from just being passive consumers of a product into active pioneers and stakeholders in a living, breathing digital economy.
Which leaves us with one last, pretty provocative question to think about. As these lines between play, profit, and community keep blurring and merging together, what does this all mean for the future of work itself? That's a question we're all going to be answering together in the years to come. Thanks for joining me.